Hey guys, Melissa here. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this cute little heart-linked beaded bracelet. It incorporates these little heart-shaped links along with some bead links here. And then I threw on one of my handmade swan clasps. It's a very versatile design as far as wires, beads, gauges, clasps. You can customize it however you want. So if you want to see how I made this, just stay tuned and I'll show you how. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to grab a couple tools here. My round nose, my flush cutters, couple chain nose, and my flat nose that I use a lot. So I'm going to try 16 gauge wire from my heart links. I want to see how it looks when it's a little bit chunky. And I'll also make my swan clasp at the end with the 16 gauge. Grab some sparkly glass beads here. You can use whatever bead you want. These happen to be like 4x3 Rondelle beads. I like their color and sparkle, so I'm going to go with those. I'm anticipating needing about 9 links, but if I need more, I can always make more. I'm going to make my bead links with 20 gauge sterling silver wire. I'm using sterling silver because that would go best with these beads. You can use whatever wire you want. I'm thinking I'm going to need about 10 of the heart links, so I'm starting to straighten it now. All I use is the cloth and I can pull it out that way. You can use nylon jaw pliers as well. Let me get my beads out of the way for now before I flip them all over the place. I grabbed a ruler. I'm going to make my heart links as I flush cut the ends. I think they just need to be 1 1/4 inches. So I said I was going to make 10, so I'll go ahead and cut 10. I'll cut them flush each time. How many do we have here? 2, 4, 6, 7, 3 more. You know, while I'm at it, I'll cut 3 inches for my swan clasp because I'll need it before I put my wire away. Gather up all my little silver scrap. Make sure you don't throw that away. You save all my scrap. Alright, so now I'm going to make my heart links. To make your link, you're going to make some loops on either side, on either end. You're going to leave some space in the middle to bend them into hearts. So make one loop, go to the other side. Alright, so we have a loop on either side. I'm going to grab my chain nose pliers and find center. 16 gauge is going to be hard for me to bend with just my fingers. So I'm going to grab my nylon jaws and bend them up. You can experiment with your heart links. If you want bigger links, you can make your wire longer, obviously, make your loops bigger and your hearts will be bigger. And you just keep going and make them consistent. Try to determine where on your round nose pliers you're actually working off of and just stick to that one area. And that'll keep your loops consistent. This loop looks a little bigger, so I'm gonna kind of give it a pinch, give that a squeeze to even them up. Grab it around the middle with your chain nose. If you don't have nylon jaws, you can use your flat heads. Kind of push them together. Get that started, get the bend started, and then you can go in between and grab them and pull them together. They look like little pretzels too, kinda. Not really. Get your chain nose pliers in there so the inner edge is right in the center, because I'm going to bend this guy over that edge. Have that make hopefully a sharp corner. Alright, just keep going with that. Okay, I've got 10 hearts done. Hopefully that's enough needed. While we're at it, let's make our swan clasp. I use 3 inches, so I'm going to start with a little loop. Press it tight. I use my flat nose pliers to grab it, and then I start to swing my wire around. And then when I come up this way, I'm going to leave a little gap. Before I do that, I'm going to tighten everybody up. And this will be the bottom of the swan clasp, so I want to leave a little gap there. So I grab it with my chain nose pliers. I leave a little gap there so I can link things onto it. Then I bend it over again. So that leaves a little gap at the bottom. Swing that over. Grab your round nose pliers. And this is where you make your little swan head. 16 gauge is a little harder to work with, even though it's dead soft. So I gotta do this with my pliers. I'm gonna put a little bend on the beak here, bend it out, and then cinch it down. And this cut end is a little bit rough, so you can take a metal file, smooth that out. Or any file or whatever you got. Nail file. Nail file might work. But you gotta smooth it out until there's no ridges. The next step, we're gonna make our bead links. So grab your beads and your wire. I think each bead link should take about 2 inches. Let's just cut one for now. Just cut one at first to see that if that's plenty of wire, and then I'll do the rest. So I'll make a loop. Making bead links is good practice for wire wrapping. When I first started, I made tons of necklaces and bracelets with bead links. All right. Stick your bead on there. Mine's just a tiny bead, so I don't need too much wire. But if your bead is bigger, you might need more wire. So 2 inches is just fine for me. And since I want to make a bracelet, I don't want to go any smaller and make wire gauge than 20. So I want it to be sturdy. So let's assemble these first few links to get an idea what it might look like here. So I'm going to kind of gently pull out one of the hearts. Put a link on and then put it right back into place. Let me put the swan clasp on the other side. I think I'm gonna need either a jump ring or figure 8 links. So my clasp will lay flat and not sideways like this. So I want my hearts to be flat against the skin, but also the swan clasp. So we have to actually, let me just put a bead link. Yeah, that's what I'll do. We'll bring that to the side, feed the bead link on, and we'll do that. Okay, that makes more sense. So we want everybody laying flat, just like that. Let's cut more wire. Once you determine how much wire you need, you can do them all ahead of time. I need 2 inches. I'm gonna go ahead and cut 8 for now. I might need more. I'm just gonna cut them all ahead of time. Hey guys, let me know down in the comments. So since I just made 2 bead links, do you like seeing me go through the whole process of making them all? Or would you rather me just skip ahead? So just leave me a comment. So we'll get this on link here. So when I link this other heart on, I'm gonna have it go the other direction. Okay, now that looks right. Okay, there we go. One going one way, one pointing the other way. Let's make another bead link. Stick that on there. And close that back up again. All right, and just keep repeating that process until you're done, and then we can measure it and see if it's the correct length. Okay, we just have to assemble it. Aren't these cool? They kind of look like labradorites. That's why I like them so much, I think. But they're just glass. I think I just got them from Michael's or something. All right, let's put this together. Make sure as you're going to check to make sure all your wires are laying nicely and nothing's poking. Kind of like quality control. All right, make sure they're alternating, which they are not. So how do I do that? I think it's going the opposite direction, but it doesn't. Oh my gosh. I thought I checked it. Okay. Why is it so hard? I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, well, let's see where this one lands. That looks the same. See, that looks opposite. So let me close it up, and I bet you it's going to be the same. Because that's what always happens. Yay, look at that, it's opposite. What do you know? Okay. Nope. Okay. Okay, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. Might have an extra heart link, or I might have to make an extra bead link. We'll see what happens. We'll measure it once we get all these together. I want a heart at the end, so the swan clasp has something to grab. That looks like it'd be a good length, so let's measure. That actually might be too long because it's over 8 inches. It's like 8 1/4. Might make it shorter. Okay, I'm gonna end this with a figure 8 link. Same wire, 16 gauge, about 1 inch long. And this is so my clasp and my heart links all lay nice and flat. So I'm gonna make a loop, and then I'm gonna make another loop on the other end, go in the opposite direction to create a figure 8. All right, I'm gonna put it on flat to see how the clasp lays. I might have to twist it. I think I do have to twist it. So you just grab both loops and then give them a twist right at the center, and that'll twist it up for you. And that should help the bracelet lay nice. Yeah, that helps. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. All right, perfect. So I am all done with my bracelet here. I did throw it in the tumbler for about an hour or so. It burnishes the metal and gets it all shiny. So that's it for me for this one. I'll link above a video that I've made previously where I make a heart link chain out of square wire and figure 8 links. So if you want to check that out, I'll link it up above and I'll link it down below. So if you like this tutorial, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought, subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.